Just the 8% only, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so before I start, okay, just see a show of hands. How many of you first time having retreat? Okay, any non-Buddhists here who knows the 8% chant? You all know, so just look at the book now. Okay. So we're going to take these 3 refuges and these 5 precepts. 8 precepts. 8 precepts. It's all staying overnight. Okay. So first, we do the page first.
Okay, which one first? Which one? Yeah, which one first?
Okay, so we're going to pay homage chant to the Buddha. So I'll chant 3 times, then you all will repeat.
Yes.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
So now taking on the 3 refuges, so I'll chant 1 line and then you'll repeat after me. Buddham saranam gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Okay, so this concludes the 3 refuges. So now it's the taking of the 8 precepts. 8 precepts. Make sure you turn the right page. So the first precept, same thing, I chant 1 line and then you follow after me. Panati pata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani
3 refuges and 8 precepts, because I listed them, so it's my duty to say something. So 3 refuges, you all know, take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So importantly, when we take refuge in the Buddha, it's about the right view. When you think of the Buddha, who do not know the life story of Buddha? Everybody know. Okay, so you know what the Buddha represents, why the Buddha seek the truth, how he sought the truth, how he achieved the truth, and why did he spread the truth. Right? So there's a reason to overcome suffering. Overcome suffering. So that's when the second triple gem, this Dhamma comes about, and the Four Noble Truth. So there are many kinds of Dhamma, and we are only interested in these Four Noble Truths. So for this retreat, we are practicing this Dhamma. So there are many kinds of Dhamma to relieve suffering. Relieve suffering. So especially in I think Siamese kind of religion, there's a lot of these black magic, occultist kind of stuff. They have their own kind of Dhamma to solve problems. They want to get rich quick, they want to solve certain problem quick, then they chant certain spell or do certain thing. They want quick results. And so it's the same as if we are stressed. We are stressed, we want to find relief, we just change our attention to something else, like our hobby, we go shopping, go traveling, whatever it is. So we are maintaining our craving, maintaining our desire, we are not reducing our desire. So for retreat, we are aiming to reduce our craving, reduce our desire, so we can get peace. So that's the purpose. So the second noble truth, the Four Noble Truths. So that's the second triple gem. The third one is the Sangha. So Sangha are the community of practitioners following this Buddha Dhamma. And they realize it with various degrees, and these are the Sangha. And so as long as we keep practicing, we are sort of, you can see on the path, if let's say you're very strict, very serious in this practice. Okay, and that's for triple gems, and now for the 8 precepts. Yeah, so for precept, the whole idea we're training is not to do nothing. We have a lot of things to do, not refrain from killing, stealing, a lot of stuff. So we're not training ourselves to do nothing. I want to kill, so everything don't do. I want to steal, everything don't do. So that's not the case. If that's the case, any coma patient in hospital, they can take few million precepts, no problem. And they cannot tell lies, can't do anything. Right? So that's not the purpose of the precept. And the purpose of precept is to eventually train our mind also. So it's together. So the reason why this precept is called right speech and right action is because you have right thought and right understanding. It's all linked. Noble, eightfold path is all linked, the Dhamma and everything. If a person, let's say they speak politely, but out of professionalism, that's their job only. They're doing customer service. But in their mind, they are cursing and swearing at the customer. Then that is not right speech. Right speech must do together, come with the intention. And so there are a few things to consider breaking the precepts. First is your intention. If your intention is, let's say for stealing, your intention, let's say for this object, if you want to steal, you have an intention to want to take without permission, so that is stealing, you have an intention. Then next is perception. I must know that this is a beautiful cup, right? So that must be a perception. If let's say I perceive wrongly, then not considered. But intention is still wrong. So the whole idea, there's a second condition which is called perception. You must perceive this is a valuable object, and it must be so. So that is the second criterion. The third criterion, you must execute the action. Either you steal or you cause somebody to steal. So that is considered execution. Yeah, so that's the thing. And the fourth one, the execution is done and the object is stolen. So the result is that object must be stolen. If it is not stolen, you want to steal, but then you stop, never bring it, almost break, but haven't break a piece. So you must steal, successfully steal. That is considered breaking the precept. So the whole idea of the precept ultimately is to train the mind intention. So if a person doesn't have intention, maybe they're not mindful, they don't think it just take long, they take then they bring one side. So the owner will find, hey, cannot find. So even though there's no intention to steal, spiritually there's no karma, but secular-wise there's still misunderstanding. Circular dharmas. And so there are two dharmas. One is the spiritual dharma dealing with the karma, and the secular dharmas dealing with the interpersonal relation, dealing with the law and stuff like that. So we must learn to moderate both. And in life, next time if you go out or down here, we must learn to find the balance. Yeah? Whatever we say, behave, it has to also be in line with the society's norm to a certain extent. So that is to prevent yourself to get into trouble. So that is the important thing. So you need to find your own moderation. I cannot say I totally observe right speech, so I don't talk to my colleagues. I don't talk to my boss. You get into trouble. So you need to speak when necessary, and you need to moderate, make sure the content is with right intention. Right? So that's the idea. Okay, so I don't go through so there's refrain, killing, stealing. The third one, sexual misconduct for a preceptor means no sexual activity at all for a preceptor. No sexual activity at all. So for 5 precepts, your role is not to cheat your partner, basically. So that is the third one. And the fourth one is avoid telling lies. Avoid telling lies. So the whole idea is to speak the truth. That means to reach the truth. So it's not just about not telling lies. There are 4 right speech. 4 right speech. Refrain from lying, harsh speech, idle gossip, and divisive speech. Because whatever you do for these 4, you make your mind not reach the truth. The truth here is not the factual truth. For example, idle gossip. Idle gossip. Let's say I go beside you and tell you a lot of facts. The earth is round. The grass is green. The sky is blue. I tell you this kind of thing the whole day. Do you think it's right speech? No, it's considered idle gossip. There's no benefit. There's no benefit. Although you're telling factual truth, but it doesn't give you inner peace. So the truth you are aiming here is not reaching this inner peace. So the right speech here has to wait for the right time. It first must be the truth. Then you must wait for the right occasion, the right person, and then your intention, whether you speak, is it out of goodwill, not out of loving kindness, not out of hatred and stuff like that. So you have a few criteria. So all these are considered part of this right speech. And the last one, the 5th one is avoid intoxicants. So down here, try not to take alcohol or any kind of drugs and stuff like that. Make your mind heedless. Make mind heedless. So we are here to train clarity of mind, not blurriness of mind. So we blur and waste our time. Okay, then the 6th one is avoid taking meals after noontime. Avoid taking meals after noontime. So down here, do you practice afternoon these allowables? There are certain allowables for yogis to eat. hours. Although daybreak to noon time is the official meal timing, afternoon and evening, there's this thing called medicines. Medicines, yeah. So probably in the ancient days, they might use the Ayurvedic kind of classification. Some things are considered medicine, no? Have some medicinal value. So like, I don't know, ghee, butter, honey, all those things they consider got value. So these things are originally called medicine. So you take it only when you have illness. When you have certain illness, then you take. Maybe some people got low blood sugar level. They might want to faint, so you take something of energy value, and it's considered medicine. But if you don't have this problem, and you take this so-called medicine, then it becomes poison. Yeah? Too much sweet stuff, too much fatty stuff, and you develop all kinds of health problems. So sometimes you see Thailand on bump or a lot of health issues. Because it's not the meal time, it's not the main meal which is the problem. Usually it's the afternoon medicine, or we call so-called medicine, that create these issues. Okay. Yeah, so that's about it of the meal time. Then the next one is entertainment. For the 7th precept, no beautifying yourself, means no jewelry, no cosmetics, no perfume, no entertainment, dancing, singing, and those kind of stuff. And so, yeah, so I think should be issued the retreat before. So normally in the Theravada community, they say no music. There are a lot of people chant, they chant out of tune. And you cannot blame them because they practice no music. So that's the contradiction. But never mind. Then the last one is this, high bed. High bed. So, so the whole idea is not to sleep on luxurious beds or high luxurious seats. So the whole idea, everything has to be simple. So even for bed frame, let's say for elderly, in the monastic rule, we allow bed frame. That means you allow a bed of a certain height, so that you don't have to like squat down and stuff like that. So if you are those with knee problem, health problems, you can just sit down on the bed. So that's for the bed frame. That's about all. Any questions so far with regard to the precepts? For me, it's okay because you have to look at the time. And for practical reason, it's not for beautification. So it's for practical reason. Yeah, it's okay.
But the makeup cannot remove it.
Okay, if you cannot remove, then it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No worries. Yeah. I want you to enjoy yourself.
But then what about drink? Like coffee, Milo,
Okay.
water.
Okay. Yeah, so sometimes depend on tradition. Very troublesome on this one. Some tradition they interpret, for example, for the Thai tradition itself, there are two schools. So the city tradition, Mahanikaya monks, they can drink Milo and milk in the afternoon. So that is allowable for them. But for the W or the forest tradition monks, they say cannot. They say it's food. Yeah, so very subjective. So what's your practice here?
Flexible.
Flexible. Okay. So for layperson, the whole idea is intention. If you are really thirsty or you really need certain energy drink, by all means you go and drink. So that's emphasis, intention. So all the minor details, certain thing can or cannot, that's got two different sectarian interpretation. Like for the Thai tradition, very funny. For fruit juices, like in the afternoon, certain fruit they consider food. Certain fruit juice they consider food. For example, they say if the fruit is bigger than the size of your palm, it is considered food, no matter how you considered food. So that is the interpretation. So like coconut considered food, but apple juice considered afternoon allowable. So very troublesome. So normally if I go out, I just say, plain water, plain water. Very troublesome. So down here is your intention. So if your intention is out of thirst or out of you need certain energy to keep yourself awake, then by all means, whatever drink okay, never mind, except for alcohol. Yeah. Anything else? Any questions? No, all okay. Yeah. So if you can tahan, you drink hot water, then drink hot water. Okay. Right. No other questions? Okay, then we move on to the next segment. Dharma sharing and meditation. Okay. Who have not learned meditation officially before? Or learned before?
What is that officially?
That means you attend a class. That means somebody teach you. Never. Oh, okay. So totally never learned before. There's some people they freestyle one. Maybe they sit themselves or they watch on YouTube. So they learn themselves.
Okay, I mean officially we never been really go through. We just a month then that's
okay. Okay.
That is how we do it.
Okay. Alright.
Really officially tell us
Okay.
step by step.
I see. Okay, alright. So I treat you all as fresh. So whatever you do not know, please, along the way you can raise your hand, ask questions. Because sometimes I use the jargon or use certain terms, might be too cheap or too perplexing, you can ask, no worries. Okay, so in meditation, we're actually learning to cultivate the mind. It's actually part of the Noble Eightfold Path. So some people have a misconception that meditation have to be seated like this. Have to be seated like this, and it's called meditation. Actually not really so. The whole idea is when we cultivate the mind, it can be sometimes any posture. But for formal sitting in class, you need to sit because if I teach halfway and you walk around, it's a bit messy. So for formal class, you need to sit down. But if your own free time, your free individual practice session, you can do the walking meditation. You can, if you want lying down meditation, but please don't lie down the whole day. Very easy to sleep. You can experiment for a while. It's okay. And especially before you sleep, it's okay. You experiment for a while. The whole idea is, I give a few examples. Some of the Buddha's disciples, they get enlightened not through long hours of sitting. One example is Venerable Sivali. This Arahan Sivali is the monk foremost in receiving gifts because his past life he done so much charity until this lifetime. So many people give him gifts. So it was believed that during his ordination as a lay person, the Buddha allowed him to ordain. So he asked Venerable Sariputta to shave the head for this Sivali, and Venerable Sariputta to shave the head of this Sivali. So Venerable Sariputta is the wisest disciple of the Buddha. So while shaving the head, Venerable Sariputta asked this Sivali to contemplate on the impermanence of the hair. And the hair will fall off, the hair will not sell, that kind of stuff. So while shaving, eventually this Sivali became an Arahat. Haven't gone through the ordination ceremony yet, haven't dressed the monk's robe. So while shaving, he became enlightened, fully enlightened. So he learned to sit long hours. He got enlightened already. And another one is this monk, Venerable Chula Pataka. He's a very intellectually challenged monk. Cannot memorize chanting. He memorized one verse, you ask him to memorize second verse, he forget the first verse. And then you ask him to go back, remember the first verse, he forget the second verse. So he forever cannot remember things. So that's the So he got sort of chased out by his group of monks that was specializing in chanting. So his elder brother was there, supposedly an enlightened monk, this Mahapadaka. So he's an enlightened monk, very well learned, very smart, to memorize his chanting. So his clique specialized in chanting only, memorizing and repeating the verses of the scripture, the teachings. And he had no other means to help his brother. Right? You cannot memorize, so I'm so sorry, we cannot help you. You cannot memorize, we cannot teach you anything. So maybe you go some other place. So they invited him to leave. So he was outside the monastery crying. Oh, my brother don't. So he was crying. And the Buddha happened to walk past. And the Buddha was telling this, asking this Chulavataka, why are you crying? Why are you crying? So he told the Buddha what happened. They don't want me anymore. And they asked him to leave. And the Buddha said, oh, no worries, you're still the disciple of the Buddha. So the Buddha gave him special assignment, asked him to come to his room. So the Theravada version gave him a white cloth. Maybe this something like this white cloth to this member Chulapataka, and asked him whether can he memorize one word, just one word. And Chulapataka, one word, no problem. Not one verse, one word, no problem. No problem. So the one word is the color white. The color white, because the cloth is white. So the Buddha asked him to clean something. So when he was cleaning, just keep repeating the word white. Very easy. White, clean. Then when he turned over the cloth, you see it no longer white, turn brown or turn black because of dust, of dirt. Then from this, he see the Dhamma. Then eventually got enlightened. Don't have to sit down long. So the moral of the story is, sitting is just the physical setup. Sitting is just the physical setup. What is the software? What's the program? And what is the programming? Right? It's more important. So no point having a phone that has no apps. No apps. And what's the point of having a phone? No app, you cannot call, you cannot do anything. Then it's a useless phone. Useless phone. So you must have the right programming. Programming important. So you can, whatever posture, standing, sitting, walking, lying down, still can practice. Some people say they only sit down, they can meditate, watch the breath. After they stand up, cannot meditate anymore. Then after the meditation class, you go back, everything back to square one. And the peace brought everything. Okay, no time to practice. No time to practice. So not true. So actually, every moment is an opportunity to practice. When you sit down, you have your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. You have distraction, you have pain also, you have everything. When you stand up, you move around, also have bodies. Also have. So it's either you choose to cling or you choose to detach. So you must know the thought that leads to clinging, and you must know the thought that leads to detachment. So the thought that leads to clinging, everybody very familiar. Everybody very familiar. So now we are learning the thought to detachment. Thought to detachment. So very basic theory is Noble Eightfold Path, you need thoughts of non-greed, thoughts of non-hatred. Mainly these two, we don't talk about illusion first. We talk about non-greed, non-hatred. So non-hatred, anybody know? do maybe a lot of these. So I'm going to introduce the overwork, the framework of what kind of meditations we are doing. So I've introduced this Meghiya Sutta, this story. This monk, there's a monk called Meghiya, Meghiya, so Meghiya. So this Meghiya is attending to the Buddha. That time Venerable Ananda was not around. So this Meghiya was attending to the Buddha. So one day they walk past a forest, very nice forest. So this Meghiya, the monk, thought to him, the Buddha always encouraged people to go to solitude, go to seclusion. So he wanted to meditate alone. Yeah? So he asked the Buddha permission. Buddha, can I go for retreat alone in the forest? And guess what the Buddha said? No. Say, wait for more people to come, then he will follow you, go to the forest. He said, why? Why you cannot go alone? So he asked second time. Buddha can go alone to the forest. Buddha said, no. Second time. Third time also same thing. The Buddha replied the same thing, then the Buddha learned to answer again. Okay, you go ahead. You go do what you want. So after the third time, okay, then he went to the forest alone. And in the forest, when he was meditating, he has lots of distraction. The temperature too cold, something raining, or too hot, mosquito, insect, whatever, right? A lot of things, distraction. So can't meditate, a lot of greed, a lot of anger towards all these things. So he decided to give up. Then he went back to see the Buddha. So he went back to see the Buddha. And the Buddha, when he came back to the Buddha is like, you see that? Okay, so the Buddha said his mind, because your mind is still not spiritually mature. Not yet spiritually mature. Yeah? So meditation not meant for children. Not meant for children. You need to have certain maturity, spiritual maturity, to go for like retreats and seclusion. So before you go for this like seclusion, first thing is you need to have spiritual friends. So among like-minded practitioners, then you come together and then you must have right kind of conversation conducive to peace. Talk about precept, talk about Dhamma, talk about the teachings, that kind of stuff, yeah? Instead of talking. If let's say a person whole day talk about gambling, for example, then they just incline towards gambling, right? So if you talk about meditation or Dhamma, then you incline to that direction. So it's all about what kind of clique you have. So it's a spiritual friends, very important. And once you have that, then the Buddha recommends four kinds of meditation exercises. First is this loving kindness meditation to overcome anger. Then you have these impurities of the body meditation to overcome certain greed. So that is the function. But for my routine, we are not doing the whole human biology and anatomy. Because how many of you ever seen your own internal organs before? Never, right? So a lot of times imagination. So what we are doing is just external parts of the body. Things that you see quite frequently, at least in the mirror, right? Quite frequently. So things that you are attached to, right? So we are going to just concentrate on external parts of the body. Yeah? So loving kindness, impurities in the body, and there's breath meditation. That's to unify the mind, because the mind and monkey run around, so the breath is to unify the mind, and eventually contemplation on impermanence to overcome this attachment. Yeah, so these are the few kinds of meditation like we are doing. Maybe breath depends. Breath very technical. So you stick to loving kindness first. Okay. So that's for the software, and to go through the hardware, and it's now this full lotus posture, like what the Buddha is saying. And full lotus, the benefit is all the feet touching the ground, all the base of the feet touching the ground, very stable, you don't even need a cushion. But if you cannot do it, let's say you have excruciating pain or you're not flexible, whatever it is, don't worry, we have 50% discount. Yeah? We call this the half lotus posture. So instead of both legs on top, they're just one leg. Yeah? One leg above the other. So that's called half lotus posture. But half lotus posture, the problem is one one leg touching the ground, one leg above that, and you feel lopsided. And then, if I were to demonstrate, okay, so when we look at the body, if I go to the side view, we have to look at the angle. So we have the torso, which is the body, and there's the feet, right? The leg when you're sitting. So ideally, it should be 90 degrees or more. So it can be wider angle, more than 90 degrees or 90 degrees. If you sit less than 90 degrees, the angle is less than 90 degrees, it will cause a lot of cramp. The blood cannot circulate. Then you feel there is a lot of irritation, very drowsy. So what happens is, if you sit half lotus, then the angle will be less than 90 degrees. So that is where you need this extra seat, this backside support to raise your back, raise the height. So that's the purpose, to increase the angle basically. So that's the purpose of this seat. If not, you need a lot of effort to maintain your body upright. If you use this, you require less effort. So that's the purpose. Okay, then if you cannot do half lotus, who here comfortable with half lotus? Only one person, a few person. Okay. If you cannot do half lotus, don't worry, got more discount. Got more discount. Then we have this, more discount. So we have this Burmese style sitting. You know the Burmese style? No crossing, so it's one leg in front, one leg behind. So I call this the parallel parking. So you both feet parallel to each other. No crossing, no overlapping. So go one in front, one behind. To me, it doesn't matter left first or right first. So half lotus also the same. To me, it doesn't matter left over right or right over left. So you try this this parallel parking, this Burmese style. Also quite beneficial as all the feet touching the ground, but still need the back raise. Somehow I still need the back raise to raise the back. And if let's say you cannot do that also, don't worry, more discount. We have the last result is normal sitting. Normal sitting, what we are sitting normally. But because you come to meditation retreat, you come to meditation class, sometimes people ask you what posture you sit. Then you tell them, I sit normal, I just sit normally, a bit icy, a bit Bharu, a bit throw-fix. So I give a new name. You must give a professional name. So I call this the full lotus inverted posture. Full lotus inverted posture. Full lotus is both feet on top. So normal sitting, both feet below. So full lotus inverted posture. So the lotus upside down. So this is the new name. Full lotus. What kind of yoga pose is this? Full lotus inverted. But never mind. So you find a comfortable base. If you cannot sit for whatever reason, sit on chair is okay. Sit on chair. So the whole idea is you're sitting stable, don't halfway fall down, then it's okay. So sit on chair is alright. If you do not have back problem, for those sitting on chair, I recommend you not lean on the backrest. Because if you lean on the backrest, very easy to go to the dream world. Go to dream world. So if you have back problem, then it's okay, never mind. Better than excruciating pain the whole day, then you're struggling and getting angry. So that's for the seat. Okay. Then now we talk about lower back, lower spine. So once you found your leg posture and you look at lower spine, ideally you can tilt your lower spine forward a bit, maybe half a degree or 1 degree forward, so that the rest of the body will be upright naturally. You don't need to put in effort to keep your body upright now. So you find the center of gravity, just tilt a bit forward, not too much until you fall down. Just a bit, so that naturally you don't need effort, can be upright. And you find the correct angle. So you don't need all the 6 pack or 8 pack, that kind of stuff. So naturally you will be upright. Okay, so that is the lower back. And then we talk about your shoulder. So for shoulder, the whole idea is don't strain the shoulder. Don't strain the shoulder. Some statue, you see the Buddha touching the floor. A lot of people want to follow touching the floor, then they strain the shoulder. So we keep the shoulder relaxed, not too in front, not too behind, just relax. So you can follow like what the statue is doing, or you can put on your kneecap, whatever posture that is stable. Whatever that is stable. Don't need to be too fanciful, like that. Anything stable. Because if you're too relaxed, then suddenly the hand, you let go. Then you want to be mindful of the posture that you come back in. You let go, relax, come back in. Then become crack pincer meditation. Whole day crack pincer. That's the signal. So you relax, don't care about the body really. Once you relax and you think about your meditation object, forget the body. So this is the shoulder posture. Next is the neck posture. What you can do is, if you want, you can tuck in the chin a bit, so they can pull the spine, don't pull the neck, and straighten the neck a bit. So you tuck in a bit. Don't need to tuck in too much and choke yourself out so a bit. And for your mouth, for those who have a lot of salivating problem, then you can lift your tongue, and the tip of the tongue can touch your upper palate, that is behind your upper row of teeth. So this will create like a dam to block the saliva. So that's the purpose of raising the tongue. But if you don't have it, okay, never mind. Because you know, some people, they sit there and start coughing or choking themselves. So that's for the saliva issue. Then for the eyes, just relax. Either you close your eyes, or you want to half close your eyes, then you gaze downward. You look at Buddha image, you never see Buddha like that one. Buddha is gaze downward. So we bring the mind together, because once you have sense contact, the mind scatters. So we try to collect the mind. So for safe environment, it's okay. If let's say you're crossing the road, please don't do this. If you cross the road, then you get into trouble. If you need to look around, okay? But you need to safe environment, neutral environment, like you gaze downward. Okay. Any questions on the posture? Yeah.
I got one friend, he said cannot go down, but he support the spine.
It's okay. It's okay, whatever that makes you stable. Not too comfortable until you fall asleep. So why is assist you in your sitting only. Okay? So that's for the seat. Anyone else? Any issues? Okay, not yes.
And we put some pillows while we're meditating on top of that.
Does it help you support?
Support.
Does it help you in the posture?
Right. Feel more comfortable.
Feel more comfortable. Okay, you can try. I don't think it's anything wrong with that. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, not then we can proceed. So I'll do a guided session along the way. So this is just for today's routine. So along the way, when we have more sessions, then I'll add on more things. Don't everything one shot after overload. So one by one a bit, then we see how. Okay, so we make sure we sit comfortably. And yes. Okay, so if you're ready, yeah. Oh, no need. some little level of brightness is good, if not too dark, some people fall asleep. Yeah. Give some enlightenment. Okay. So we are going to, if you close your eyes, yeah, then we start off with relaxing the body. Okay, so the first thing we are doing is to be mindful of the sensations of the body. We call this the mindful of the four elements: earth, fire, wind, and water element. So these elements are nothing magical. The whole universe is made of these four elements. So the earth element sensations are the hard and soft sensations. Fire is hot and cold sensations, any kind of temperature. Wind element is any kind of movement, fast or slow movement. And water element, moist or dry. Any kind of humid, any kind of moisture, we call it water element. Okay, so what we're doing is we're not deliberately creating those sensations. We just pay attention to the body gently, and we let these sensations arise naturally by themselves. And whenever we detect these sensations, there's no Dhamma. When we detect these sensations, if the mind do not have right thought, you still develop greed and anger. Nice sensation that you feel good enough, bad sensation that you get angry enough. So we need to deliberately think of right thought. So we are going to wish those sensations well and happy. Make friends with those sensations. New sensations arise, wish it well and happy. You detect something new again, wish it well and happy. So this is to overcome or reduce aversion. So it doesn't matter where the sensation appears. It can appear in your head, appear in your shoulder, appear in your leg, doesn't matter. Any sensation arise, wish it well and happy. So the theme of my so-called retreat, we call it against the stream. So this stream is actually the stream of desire. So we are actually rowing against the stream. Every time we wish this right thought, wish it well and happy, it's like paddling upstream a bit only. Once we stop paddling, means the stream will push us all the way back to the wrong point. So in my routine, I always emphasize right effort. Keep rowing the boat and keep on wishing all those sensations well and happy. Do nothing. Do nothing is reserved for sleeping only. Before you sleep, then you do nothing. So sleeping also can achieve peace. That's not the kind of peace we want. So we want skillful peace, not unskillful peace. New sensation arise, wish it well and happy. So slowly trying to tread the middle path. And we wish it well and happy, we are not clinging to them, we are not rejecting them. No clinging, no pushing. So the more thoughts of this loving kindness you generate, or the emphasis is on rowing the boat, keep on reaching all their sensations well and happy. Okay, and once the mind is relatively calm, this is just a samatha phase of this form of this loving kindness. But not amounting to any jhanas or states of concentration, just a bit of calming. So we call this the baseline emotion. Baseline emotion, just samatha. And now we're going to add a bit of insight, a bit of wisdom. So we're going to now reflect on impermanence. So all these sensations, they arise and they pass away. So we need to do two things. First is we observe real-time evidence, your own observation, your own evidence. And while observing, whatever change you detect, then mentally you can sub-vocalize. You can use any word or phrase. You can use impermanence, change, anicca, rising, falling, whatever your favorite verse associated with impermanence. So you keep repeating like a mantra. You detect something, then you repeat, detect something, repeat. So that is to convert the observation into wisdom. Reflect on impermanence, and if there's detachment, something interesting will happen. Some will trigger certain emotion. So this is part of the detachment process. So whatever happened, continue to row the boat, keep on reflecting on impermanence. See how far can the mind detach. Can you row to the source of the stream? So this is just samatha and vipassana within a restricted area, within the confines of the body. So now we are going to cultivate boundless loving kindness, expanded state of mind. So we are going to wish all beings in all directions well and happy, above, below, and all across, all directions. So no need to push the mind, let it expand naturally by itself. And very importantly, don't visualize, don't imagine how sentient beings look like, or don't wish any certain group of beings first. Yeah, using this non-discrimination method. So we are going to treat all beings and these elements. So whatever sensation you can detect, and we wish all beings well and happy. Doesn't matter the sensation appear near or far, inside the body or outside the body. Whatever you may perceive, and you wish all beings well and happy. So it's a universal goodwill. It's not the same as wish your own loved ones well and happy. So it's a universal friendliness. So new sensation arise, wish all beings well and happy. New sensation arise, wish all beings well and happy. So the phrasing of the wish is to wish all beings well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. So it's no longer you're on this one sensation only. So let's say you experience a deeper sense of peace or an increment of joy and happiness compared to the baseline restricted loving kindness, then that is another kind of concentration based on this boundless loving kindness. So usually a person, if the conditions are right, may experience this first level of concentration in this step. And regardless of what we experience, keep growing the boat and keep wishing all beings well and happy. Everything else is just a byproduct. Or whatever emotions you experience, all these are byproduct. Emphasize on the cause, keep rowing the boat. beings, all sensations are subject to arising and passing. So you think of all these sensations, how they keep changing, changing. We observe them and we also take note, mentally sub-vocalize. It's rising and passing, anicca, change, impermanent, whatever label you're comfortable with. Let's say the joy and happiness will start to disappear. That is very normal. So we are continuing to row the boat no matter what happens. Keep on reflecting on impermanence. And emotional states are impermanent. All states of mind are impermanent, all sensations are impermanent. So the combination of this loving kindness and impermanence may lead one to experience this state of mind called equanimity. Usually it's the fourth level of concentration. So it's neutral, refreshing kind of emotion. Regardless Regardless of what you experience, continue to keep reflecting on impermanence. Everything else is just a byproduct. Then we're going to move on to another sublime state. So now we're switching to compassion. So for compassion, we wish all beings that they be free from suffering. So the same thing, we are not going to imagine any particular group of beings. We're using the non-discriminative approach. So all beings, regardless of their health status, whether they are sick or healthy, their financial status, whether they are rich or poor, as long as they cling onto the five aggregates, cling onto the four elements, then they will result in suffering and mental distress. So see, when we detect any sensation at time, we wish all beings free from suffering. If sensation arises, we all be free from suffering. So try not to imagine. Once we imagine certain poor group of people, then we think of how to help them, we worry for them. Then we get cling, we cling to the five aggregates. We get swept away by the five aggregates into the story. So just as a general concept, all beings, the sensation arises, may all beings be free from suffering. That includes ourselves, don't get swept into suffering. I say the joy and happiness start to disappear again, and probably this time around one may experience very blank or spacious kind of experience. They call this the perception of space. So no matter how spacious, how blank, continue to reflect on impermanence. So the whole idea is not to get lost in that blankness or lost in that space. So we just keep reflecting and keep rowing the boat. So we are going to maintain this state of mind before we conclude the session, using this Karaniya Metta Sutta as a gentle reminder that as long as we maintain these boundless sublime states in all activities, standing, sitting, walking, or lying down, then this is the noblest living. And with that, we can gently open our eyes, formally end the session, but informally still can generate right thought. Any issues, any problems? Yes?
If you sit for some time, you felt the pain can shift.
Yeah, no problem, can shift. Yeah, but shift mindfully. And with the pain, you can shift with lots of goodwill. Yeah, because this loving kindness meditation can do it all posture, all activities. So when you move, also do it with right thought. Better than trying to maintain a posture, don't move, but then the mind's so angry, keep fighting and fighting and fighting. They are generating this angry karma all the time. So we maintain more good karma. Okay, anyone else? Any issues? No issues, all okay. Because I thought some time for Dhamma discussion, 15 minutes. Anyone want to discuss anything? Okay, so your homework or your assignment is to maintain this either loving kindness or compassion throughout the whole day. Yeah, whole day. So later on, eating also the same thing, walking also do the same thing. Because some people can get angry the whole day, or get grumpy the whole day. Very natural, don't need effort. So this one is the opposite. We are doing the opposite. I have loving kindness the whole day. So may require some effort, but no worries, it's a good investment. And so continue to just remind yourself all these are happy or all these are impermanent. Either one of them, well, happy or impermanent. Right? Okay. So later on, when there's difficulty, then you let me know. Okay. So I give a 3 count. If there's no question, then I call it the end of this session.
Numbness in the
Okay, numbness, yeah, very normal. Whatever posture you're in sure have suffering. You stand too long, also suffering. You lie down too long, also there's suffering. Yeah, so it's meant to be like that. So we are not trained to be statue. Buddha statue can sit for 24/7. We are not Buddha statue. So when the Buddha was alive, he was also not having his backache. Then he chose to lie down. Or sometimes his backache, then he do walking meditation. So it's okay to move. We are not training to be robot. Anyone? Any question? Okay, if not, then we call it the end for this morning session. So then we can see you at lunchtime. So I need to prepare.